What's up? What's up? This is DB Talking Out, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles here on a Sunday night to recap Week 2 matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl rematch. The Eagles win 20-17 in what technically was, it was an ugly game. It was an ugly game. I didn't get to completely watch the full game, but just due to work. But we have some things that we can talk about, that we can take away from this game. The Eagles offense, obviously, we didn't put on a show like the Super Bowl. We didn't do this, we didn't do that. Jalen only had about 100 passing yards, and had about, I don't know, I want to say about 20 rushing yards in the game. But this was definitely a defensive game. And, Saquon Barkley finished the night with 22 carries for 88 yards and a touchdown. We did what we needed to do to win. And to me, honestly, like, a bunch of people are saying that, they're concerned about the offense. Well, I mean, yeah, there's plenty of things that you can kind of point to be concerned about the offense, like the conservativeness, I guess. You can say from new offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo, and just the fact that we're kind of lacking big plays through 2 weeks, but it's only 2 weeks, guys. The ugliest football happens in September, and we've found a way to win in each of these first 2 weeks of the season. I want to say that what I want to kind of bring to light is honestly the silver lining of week 1 and week 2. The defense has held 2 top 10 quarterbacks to less than 200 yards passing. So first and foremost, that is that I think is number one of I think it's indicative of signs of things to come. Good playability, good, Mr. Toxic. What's up, my man? Yo, it's been too long, GB. Yeah, man, I did my first stream for the first time in a long time just the other night. And did kind of like a pregame kind of stream. But I'm good to have you. I'm good to have you in here, my man. Thanks for joining in. Please like the video. Yeah, I'm not, just as a recap of this game today. Yeah, I'm not too crazy about it. Yeah. Mr. Toxic Black says, this is Toxic Falcons. If you remember, I do remember. Yeah, it's good to have you in here, man. Bijan Robinson is a stud. Actually, I'm really impressed with it. I mean, just because I haven't talked to you in a while, but I was actually really impressed with what the Falcons did in the draft and in the offseason this season. But getting back to recapping the Eagles game against the Chiefs, I think, anytime that you can hold Patrick Mahomes under 200 yards, I think you're doing a good job. And the fact that the defense didn't allow Patrick Mahomes to kind of win it at the end. And we knew that Patrick Mahomes was going to make it close. It was 20-10 at one point. Personal opinion is I thought that the Eagles D had the Chiefs stop, and the game was gonna end 20-10. But it wasn't so much so that way. Obviously they just kept throwing it up to their deep speed guy, Thornton, or whatever his name is. I think it's Tyreek Thornton. And finally they ended up getting one on third down, or getting a touchdown on third down, which was like a 47-yard pass from Patrick Mahomes. But big things to take away is our rookie safety Andrew Makuba is really starting to show up. He had half a sack today. And then also had the big play interception in the red zone and returned it 41 yards. To me, I think that was the play of the game for the defense. I think that was the play of the game, one of the plays of the game, to be honest, to kind of thwart this Kansas City Chiefs team from winning. Now, I mean, Kansas City Chiefs are now 0-2. Crazy thing to think about. The Raiders and the Chargers play tomorrow, so we'll see who wins that game. It would be crazy to see the Raiders beat the Chargers tomorrow, and be 2-0 in the standings. Mr. Toxic says, "Congratulations on the win. Thank you, my man." Yeah, I mean, it's a win that I think that I don't think we necessarily needed this win. I don't think it's one that like would have predicted the outcome of the season, but it's definitely one that helps, boost the confidence. I mean, you can only get better from here. I mean, obviously there were a bunch of mistakes that were made. The Eagles need to find a way to move the ball more consistently, which I think that they're going to be able to do as long as they can continue to rack up wins. It reminds me a lot of the Philadelphia Eagles early last season too. Like the offense needs to catch up with the defense, so on and so forth. I'm pretty sure we have the Los Angeles Rams in week 3, so it's going to be interesting going against Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua and just see how things go from there. Toxic says, "Yeah, Bijan did great tonight." Honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know how Bijan did tonight. I just know, obviously the last time I talked to you was that draft where Bijan was getting drafted. I was thinking that the Eagles might take Bijan, but the Eagles got Jalen Carter instead. Toxic says, "Jalen Carter is a monster, man." Yeah, he is. He is a monster. I'm glad he's on our team. That's for sure. I was a little disappointed on how things went in week 1, obviously with the whole situation between Jalen Carter and Dak Prescott. And therefore, we didn't get to see Jalen Carter play the entire game in week 1. In fact, we didn't get to see him play at all in week 1. But yeah, no, according to NFL stats is, Jalen had 3 quarterback pressures tonight. And I think that actually we had a total of 10 quarterback pressures as a defense tonight. And anytime that you can do that against Patrick Mahomes, you're doing something good. But Patrick Mahomes did a pretty good job, moving the chains with his legs. That's pretty much where most of their offense came, to be honest, is Patrick Mahomes had more than 60 rushing yards. So I think we have his number right now, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Toxic says, "I look back at the draft and I'm glad we got Bijan, but I still think about getting Carter." Yeah, those are two, honestly, they're 2 players who are doing great things for their teams. Both of them are generational talents, in my opinion. I think the Falcons need to do a better job of improving their offensive line so that he has more running lanes. And it doesn't just come down to, what can he do out of the backfield, but what can he do from both positions as a runner and also a catcher out of the backfield for Bijan. But yeah, no, I'm happy with the pick, and I'm glad that you're happy with your pick. Let's just keep it at that. Me, to be honest, the only reason why I wanted Bijan Robinson back when during that draft is because I wanted Saquon. The Giants just franchise tagged Saquon, back at that time. And yeah, but now that we have Saquon, I'm not too worried about it. King, what's up, my man? Welcome to the chat. It's good to see you again, my dude. King says, "What's up, DB? This offense is looking like the 23 defense right now." Yeah, honestly, dude, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I don't like the first 4 weeks of the season last year with this offense. It took some time for them to catch up. And I think the same thing is happening here. Again, we have to remember it is, despite Kevin Patullo being around for a while, like he is the new OC. It's not as creative as I would like it. And, they're not doing that good of a job of getting these guys open and getting these guys the ball. Clearly though, there was an emphasis on making sure that both Devontae and AJ got the ball in this game, as both, I believe, had more than 6 targets. However, it just didn't equate to the passing yardage. But again, you have to remember that, like, despite how poorly the defense of the Chiefs played against the Chargers in week 1, it's a good defense. The Chiefs have a good defense. They have great players all across the board, technically, in their cornerbacks, and then in their linebacking core as well. They have Danny Tranquil, they have Leo Chanel, they have Chris Jones along the defensive line. So I mean, here's the thing: the Eagles found the way to win. We that's the one thing is like, oh yeah, the Eagles won, but they won ugly. But they won ugly against a team that is a perennial, like, Super Bowl contender. We won ugly against Patrick Mahomes. And usually that's not something that you can do. If you play ugly, usually Patrick Mahomes, takes advantage of that and then ends up winning the game. And look, I mean, the Eagles did what they needed to do to win. I think we're only going to build on it. I think it's going to be fine. Am I happy with how the offense played? No, I'm not. Am I happy about how the defense played? Yeah, you bet your ass I am. You bet your ass I am happy. And the only thing that I'm worried about with the defense is they have given up a couple big plays, and I think the big plays are keeping other teams in the game right now. Honestly, if you take away that Thornton touchdown on 3rd and long, the Eagles win 20-10. If the Eagles offense finds a way to score 7 points instead of 3 points off of the Andrew Makuba interception, what are we talking about here? Like, there's so many what ifs and things of that nature that all the media guys are going to try and, like, bring up about how Travis Kelce, dropped the reception that ricocheted into Andrew Makuba's, arms. It's like, well, if he caught that, well, it's like, yeah, but you could say the opposite for so many other in so many other scenarios for the other team as well. So it's like, who the better team won tonight, and I'm happy that we got the dub. I'm happy that we got the dub. The offense knows that it needs to play better, and the offense knows that it needs to play better, and the defense knows that it needs to play better. Again, I said this in my stream, a few days ago, which is I think things are going to take a turn when we get Nakobe Dean back. I don't think people actually give enough credit to Nakobe Dean and just how good of a player he is, but he's also the green dot guy out there at the linebacker spot when he is on the field, and so just getting guys lined up and so on and so forth. But I'm really excited. I think the Eagles are doing. I think the Eagles, could be better. I think that they deserve to be 2-0, and I say deserve to be 2-0 because they're the ones who showed up at the crucial moments. The Eagles are the ones who showed up at the crucial moments, and I'm really excited. And I'm really excited about it. I'm excited about this team. I'm excited about this team, but I just want to make sure that they do everything that they need to do to continue to earn these wins. So, Andrew Makuba obviously getting his first interception, that in my opinion was the biggest play of the game for the defense. He's going to be a stud. He's going to be a stud, and I'm happy. That's exactly, those are the exact things that I thought when we drafted him. Is he looked a lot like CJ Gardner-Johnson, and he most certainly did tonight. Making that big 3rd down stop on the Chiefs. Earlier on in the game, and I think it was maybe in the second quarter. And then obviously getting the interception, and then obviously getting the sack. Those are huge moments that only big play players can make. Making big plays when it matters most. Let me know how the mic sounds. Temporary mic, King. I know I mentioned this to you last stream, but I just want to know how the mic sounds. I'm not sure if it's my computer mic or not, just because it's been acting weird. So, but let me know, guys, how it sounds. But yeah, let me go ahead and go over some of the games today, which I will do. Yeah, the Falcons dominated the Minnesota Vikings 22-6 tonight. Surprising, honestly. I was expecting JJ McCarthy to do a bit more. He obviously did not. Indy ended up beating Denver in kind of a shootout. Arizona ended up beating Carolina, as they should, but they did it ugly, in my opinion. The Los Angeles Rams, they ended up beating the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, that's a given. Seattle ended up beating Pittsburgh 31-17. That was surprising. In my opinion. Buffalo ended up beating the New York Jets 30-10, as they should have. San Francisco beat the New Orleans Saints 26-21, as they should have. New England beat Miami 33-27, a bit of a shocker there. And the Detroit Lions found their former selves in putting up 52 points against the Chicago Bears to their only 21. And then, honestly, the game that I was most disappointed in was probably the Giants and the Cowboys game. I was really hoping the Giants were going to pull that one out, just because I don't fear the Cowboys whatsoever. But the Cowboys won on a last second field goal in overtime, so it was that close to being a tie. But yeah, so it is what it is. But hey, I don't care about those other teams. I just care about the Eagles, and I love that we beat the Chiefs today 20-17. Now the Chiefs are 0-2. The Chiefs are 0-2. And what that means for the Chiefs, I do not know. I think that they're going to find a way to rebound. Again, it's only 2 weeks in September, and so I think the Chiefs are still going to be fine. I don't think there's anything to worry about with the Kansas City Chiefs. The only thing I would worry about for the Kansas City Chiefs is maybe finding an additional pass catcher for Patrick Mahomes. I think about the Kansas City Chiefs finding additional pass catchers, and I think about how the Eagles, kind of have a plethora of them right now, which actually kind of makes me grateful in the fact that we did go ahead and trade for John Mechie. But speaking of which, John Mechie did have a catch today. It was just for 0 yards, so that was great. But it is what it is. I think the Eagles are going to try and find ways to get John Mechie and Jahan Dotson more involved. I'm surprised we didn't see more of Jahan Dotson today, but it's okay. It is what it is, and we'll just continue to move forward. And, the Eagles are 2-0. But anyway, so yeah, that's my quick recap. Happy that the Eagles are 2-0. They won 20-17 against the Chiefs today. Anytime that you can beat the Chiefs in a close game, it's a good thing. The Eagles defense, while they are giving up more big plays than I like, which is keeping teams in the game, they are holding. As of 2 weeks, they've held 2 top 10 quarterbacks to under 200 yards passing, and so that's kind of a big deal. And it's nothing to be overlooked either. So I'm excited about the team moving forward. I think we're only going to build on from here. I'm a little bit worried about the offense, but I think that they'll get it corrected, and we'll be groovy moving forward. All right. Well, this is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. I will keep you updated throughout the week as to when our next stream will be, but it will most definitely will be. We most definitely will have a preview stream of the week 3 matchup against the Rams coming ahead. So anyway, happy Sunday, everybody. Peace, love, and have a wonderful rest of your night. This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. Peace.